Hello, Kirby.
And we're on. And we're back.
We're back.
Hey, thank you, Clay. Thank you for joining us for a new episode of What the It's My World, and you just live in it. Brought to you by What the Fuck But Why. But, to give a little backstory, we were podcasting pretty regularly, and then, me trying to be funny all the time, I started upping it. And remember the last podcast, we got into a fight in the middle of it and left.
That was the last one.
Yeah.
What were we fighting about?
About marriage.
Oh, okay, I remember now.
Yeah, and then you started taking it personal, and I was like, babe, I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah, but people assume that it is about me and you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll get to that. But before we start, you are listening to The Social Prophet and my wife, Mrs. Prophet.
I don't really like that.
I love Mrs. Prophet.
No, I am my own person.
But I'm glad I'm actually not going to go off my notes right now. I'm glad you just said everybody's going to think that I'm talking about us. And that is my problem right now. That I really don't like talking about politics that much. Will I get sucked into it? Yeah. Okay. But more or less more around social issues, Not necessarily I don't know people's names and shit like Luke does.
Yeah.
He knows people and I
Right.
don't. I can kind of talk about it. I'll see headlines and shit.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about relationship stuff. I want to talk about sex and marriage, but I just know how people think, and everything I say, people are going to think I'm talking about us. So I never bring it up at all. But that's what I want to do. I want to have my Social Prophet show where I literally just talk what my goal would be?
What?
And I won't hog the whole mic.
Yeah, you
Will I though?
Yes.
Anyways,
We know.
my dream would to be the Social Prophet show, and I am dressed like the Social Prophet.
Yeah.
And my dream goal would to be that's a good start.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of the mentally ill or the
What?
the retarded,
Mentally challenged?
mentally
I would
challenged.
never.
But I would love to have couples come on, or even Zoom or whatever, and they're in the middle of a fight, and I hash out the fight. They could even go anonymous. Or I guess because it's on video, so they can't. But just a dream of mine would be, a couple would come on, and because I want to prove to the world that I could be a therapist without any schooling, just off my instinct and what I know. I think I can do it. Now,
Yeah, but there's actual, types of therapy. There's ways of doing therapy.
I know. And
it's not like they're just talking. There's cognitive behavioral therapy.
Uh-huh.
There's dialectical behavior therapy.
Uh-huh.
There's all different kinds.
Well, how about this? I'll be a couples therapist. Bada bing da boom.
No, but they use those therapies within the sessions.
Yeah, but
They're trained on how to do that.
But what you're saying right now is they're just words. I can't talk with Homer, I'm chewing the bone. I tried to be like a trooper. I can't do it though. No, I need silence.
Okay, Homer, you're not
Come
allowed
on,
to chew
it's a
on a bone.
podcast. I can't be having that.
Other
just
podcasters have dogs on their podcasts.
Well, they ain't me, but
Homer, he really wants it.
I know I feel bad, but I just can't do it. I hope. Yeah, because look, every time it's look how loud that is. That's as loud as our vocals.
Really?
Yeah, look, that's it's right there.
Okay, he's done. He's gonna go to sleep.
Anyway, okay, everything you're talking about, you're just saying words. But for me, you're just a cause of therapy. But I don't
Wow.
need that word, because I would assess them and I would talk to them, and I naturally would give them advice based off how they act, how they talk, what they need. I'm not treating everybody the same. I feel like I could have therapy with Luke, and then have therapy with like Jolie, and it'd be two different things. Like I feel like I could deal with that and I could deal with that. But what you're saying, they're just words. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if say I was in the wild, like there was no therapist, there was no doctors and offices, they wouldn't have those words, but you would just instinctually treat those people based off, you know? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I feel like there's knowledge behind what they do. Like there's ways they do it.
Okay.
And it's not like just talking and giving advice.
Point B.
Yeah, give me another point.
I can learn everything they learn on Google nowadays. Like everything, like school right now is almost, it's comical at this point of how you don't need school, but the only reason you need school is because they want that degree based off old practices and old thought, you know. But right now, I can't do this. This comes out like a fucking broom.
It's not a broom. It's a... What's it? I always called it a bedpan. That's not a bedpan. What are those called?
A dustpan.
Dustpan. That's alright. We need a new one anyways.
Jesus, he's killing my vibe already. I fucking can't do it.
Oh, you get like too
It's
serious.
just how I talk, alright? I'm just saying, like, Homer, come on. Come here. Come here. See, like, in my therapy, like, I can't have a dog. Well, they could, though, and I would deal with the dog. Oh, see what I was... Oh, okay. Nowadays, I feel like most jobs... I know you're going to... Don't give me the extremes, like a pilot and a surgeon. I'm talking, like, most jobs I could learn on Google and YouTube in this Udemy, the program I just am
What's
using.
Udemy?
That app I just bought to learn to learn graphic
They
design.
have it for everything?
It's like everything, full courses. You know what I mean? Just keep talking. Answer my point.
I just think you're wrong. I think that, yeah, just because you read something doesn't mean you have, like, the actual knowledge or clinical experience or hands-on experience or any of that. Like, I don't know. I don't think that you're right on this one, buddy. Buddy old pal. So, he's putting Homer away right now. Wah, wah. I tried, Homer. Daddy's no fun.
But alright, let's bring up like where'd my water go?
Right here. You're so spazzy.
Yeah, because of Homer. I just had to do all that because of Homer.
You're just a spaz.
Alright. I could learn real estate on, let's just start with professions. I could learn real estate on Google.
I'm sure
and
there
YouTube
are. But I just don't think therapy and psychology is one of those things.
But what if there's books, babe, like the shit they study in the books and the philosophers and the science, they get the same books that I can get.
But what about, and I said this while you were putting Homer away, what about clinical knowledge, hands-on knowledge?
I can learn that the same way they can. I'd buy the same book.
That's not what clinical knowledge is.
Okay, hold on. I'd buy the same book. In the way they... Like they're like 21-year-old kids like going, I see them, they're like practicing, and you know what I mean, like that, like, so they're getting knowledge, or what are you calling it, like clinicals. So I would do that in my own way with friends and people, like try out my shit, because what's different about what they're doing? You're still putting this title and this importance on school, but really it's like a money scam. Like it's like in 10 years we're going to be like, why do we have to go to school? It's all right here on my phone. Babe, that app that like, you can learn everything. Like, what can they learn that I can't learn? And the shit they tested on, like, why can't I do that with people too?
Because how would you get to any mental health patients, first of all?
I live with one.
Ew, burn.
They're
Nice.
all around me. What do you? I know.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some really, really sick people out there. There's people that are delusional. How would you handle that? I don't think you would be ready for that.
I would learn the same way as they would. Is what I'm getting at.
But they spend like weeks on certain floors learning how to deal with
then
that.
why can't I do that? And right now we're speaking like hypothetically. If I was quit my job and was like, I want to be, like, you know what I mean? What you're still not getting to what could they do that I can't? Like I can get the same books on Amazon, or I could go to a library. I could, these apps now that like have courses and teachers. It'd be like, with Zoom, and there's free shit, and like school's gonna be, besides
You
surgeons.
think school will be obsolete? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's gonna get to a point. No, it's not, because they're gonna carry jobs, and businesses and corporations are gonna carry that tradition of we want the degree, you
Right.
know. But maybe, like, think about this. Say there was a designer, two graphic designers. They went to get a real job. What if, like, say Kid 8, Kid 8?
Mm-hmm.
He's, I know this isn't video, I'll just pop something up real quick. He is so good that at this point, I don't even know, like, he does, like realistic shit, like video game type shit. But he's just a guy like me in the UK who does the same shit just by himself, and, and he has no company, he has no whatever. He's just been a freelance, just like me. But it's so realistic that I can't even tell when he posts the album cover if he used a real picture or he drew it or he like vectored it. You know what I'm saying? I can't
Yeah.
even tell.
Yeah.
So what if Kid 8, who has no degree, he did it all on YouTube and these websites, went to a job for a real job, and the kid next to him had a stupid fucking degree, and he was 10 steps or 10, you know what I mean? Like behind Kid 8. Like his shit was just way
I just think
worse.
that's a little bit.
Kid 8 should get that job.
You use extreme things to,
No, I'm not.
to make points. Yeah, you do.
I'm saying the reason why I don't think it will actually happen is because I'm agreeing with you. Just that your mindset is how these companies think too. So they won't hire you, But
Because there has to be regulation within every field, which there isn't actually,
I know,
which
like,
is scary. But
don't you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why it won't happen, but I'm saying it should happen. A hairstylist. Why do you have to go to school to be a hairstylist? Why can't you just do it? You could technically learn and do it all at home. The same shit that they do. I'm trying to think of something else. An accountant. You don't need if you're in accounting, you probably should find a new career, because all these apps and programs are like making them
gonna
up.
do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's everything in life, and that's what I'm worried about. That just everything people can do, they're finding out. They're making an app that replaces it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, technology is definitely scary in my point of view, but
And I didn't even mean to get so deep in the first half of it. Like, this isn't like I don't know. I just naturally started with that. I'm just saying, like, because we're back. I'm not like, this isn't like, so in the aliens, or it's like, it just happened to elite, like, get there.
yeah.
So I'm curious if maybe I sold my point to everybody who's listening right now. Like, we'll see. Like, I would actually, really think about it. Like, how many jobs could you just do? Maybe they, like, people listening don't even know what I know about how much, like, these apps and like, maybe they don't
Information
even.
is out there.
Like,
Yeah,
I know. I just
educational
downloaded
things.
one, and I'm blown the fuck away by how much you can learn on it, and it's professional. It's a real teacher from a real college, and they have like part 1, part 2, part 3, and they show you. And if you do graphics, it's like lawyer, they have like guys. It's fucking unreal,
Yeah.
But these colleges are also in cahoots with government and all that, so they're always going to try to trick us to get into school. You need a degree, but you don't need a degree. And like I said, I know like a surgeon and a fucking pilot. I know there are some professions, but think about most of it, not the couple extreme that it won't work for. That's all I'm asking everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I know, there are some. But a lawyer, they're coming up with algorithms that are taking, this is what you would do, okay? We would write up a case right now. Oh, goddamn, the neighbors went in our yard and dug up our driveway, right? And then the neighbors would type in their defense, all right? And then you put it into this program, and the algorithm takes the words and thinks for it, and just based off algorithms and words and stuff, and then it brings up like the law, and a computer could technically figure out more than a human or a judge what is more correct based off the words put in the algorithm, and it could sort itself out. All right, now what's happening is a lot of these, I got like Elon was just on Rogan, and I went down a little rabbit hole with this type of shit, and what they're worried about is their fear is computers are gonna start learning themselves, and that's like scary.
Yeah.
That it won't even need us to program
do
something.
anything.
Yeah, even
Right.
program what we're making.
Right.
It's gonna like almost clone itself in a way.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
That's why I got out of graphic design, because the clients were real. Dude, that was bad.
Annoying
Have you ever
as
seen me
fuck.
like that though? Like when I was doing G-Men, and like remember how mad I would get, and
Yeah.
how just mad.
It was just
It was bad, but I ran it bad. That's why I always say I'm not scared to say it. Like, I wish if I had Mike hit when I was younger, I just wonder, like, I would
if it would have been different.
yeah, like I told you, like Kid 8, I know he's like better than me, but he makes fucking real money.
Yeah.
You
No,
can
it's
make,
possible,
yeah,
yeah.
if you run it right, like a real business. But what
But
happens
you
is
weren't.
I wasn't. And that's what most people do. They run it like a teenager in a way. Just half-ass, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, not really, really treat it like a real business. Like, not to keep talking about Mike Hit, but one example, and I'll get off of it. Like, when you book with Mike Hit, it sends you a text, it sends you
What
an
if they
email.
don't know who Mike Hit is?
Oh yeah, that's true. He's just like a really good friend of mine that we met on the internet, and he has a studio in Pittsburgh called MCM Studios, and it's like a legit studio. It's him, and he's done shit for
He's a producer.
He's a producer, yeah. But and he'll post shit, and even if you don't know him, like motivational type shit, But he just runs it like legit, and like I said with the studio, when you book something, you automatically get an email, you automatically get a text, and you automatically get a reminder 2 weeks before.
Right.
Like, that's legit. That's
Yeah.
dope. Like,
Yeah.
not everybody does that shit.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's how it should be. And he's just, that's how it's done. And a lot of people run it like how I ran it. And then they cry and they bitch about, like, clients suck and you can't make it and it's hard. It's like, no, you're just not running it right. And that's why with this fucking children's book that I'm making, the only reason why I got motivated was because of him, and because I thought about it. And like I always tell people, like, say a photographer, they'll get into photography, they'll buy cameras, they'll buy lens, they'll buy filters, they'll buy lights, and then they just stop after that. They don't put any money in promotion, and they don't put anything. They just love buying gear.
It's just the stuff.
Yes, the stuff. And I always see these photographers like, I need a new camera. What's the new camera? I'm like, motherfucker, you have a Canon 2016 fucking T4-9 that if you had the same camera 10 years ago, you'd be like, holy fucking shit.
Right.
And then you want the new camera because, like an iPhone, like it's almost like you want the iPhone 8, and you want, not you, but people who digital hop, you know? And you want it, but for one little fucking thing, and people don't even, like I had the Nikon D3100 for like 10 years, and it was the oldest camera, and it was like $350 by that point, and people would always say, fucking, yo, what do you use? Like, your shit's fucking crazy. I'm like, a Nikon D3100 motherfucker with a $125 lens, and people don't even max out their gear. Like, I like outgrow it. Like, you should outgrow your gear,
Yeah.
Because that's what, in another thing, that's what Mike Hitt keeps telling me about this children's book. He's like, like, I get it. Like, you think far, and then you gotta like reel it back, and just be. Damn, I forgot what I was saying. What was I even talking about?
Bay.
Anyways, I'm done ranting. Fuck. Oh yeah. My main point. Am I talking too much? Well, too bad, like, me, like,
Yeah, I mean, it's
forget. I'm sorry. I'll let you talk. Like, we have plenty of time.
No, I know. Go ahead.
Um,
Get it off your chest.
yeah. With Riley's Rescue that I'm trying to do, this children's book, and I'm just putting in a lot of work in it, like everything, like I'm staying up late and fucking I don't have a lot of time. And it's really stressful because I gotta be a dad, or I gotta be a UPS driver, I gotta be a dad, I have to be a husband, and then I also have this fucking dream that if I was single, I would spend 24/7 on Riley's Rescue.
Right.
I would literally not stop. You know me, like when I can do that type of shit,
Yeah.
And so it's hard it's not even just that. It's like even when I'm at UPS, I'm stuck at UPS and I have all these ideas. It's like 11 o'clock. I'm just like buzzing with ideas. Like I want to do this, I want to do that, and I'm like fuck, but I'm stuck here.
Right.
And then I get home, and then I'm like, like my phone's blowing up, and fucking like people are texting me. Everybody's getting off work, and I have like ideas. I'm talking to Luke. He has ideas. He wants to go live, and I get home, and then here's Riley and Rowan who come running at me like, "Daddy, daddy, daddy," And that's why we got in that little tiff that we worked out. Which I do want to get. I want to talk about like the working it out thing, maybe next podcast. But so it's hard because then I got to spend time with them, and Riley like hugs my leg, like I can't move without her.
Your kids should be the number one
I
on
know,
the list.
I know. Hold on. And so it's not like I come home and they're like, "Hey, Dad," like no, they're like on my leg, tugging me, like play with me, play kitchen with me. I'm throwing Rowan, I'm wrestling Rowan, So I am doing that shit. But what I'm saying is, by the time they go to bed, and that's a problem because Riley goes to bed super fucking late, and like 11:30 because we fucking suck, or she's just difficult.
No, she's hard.
I know.
We've tried everything.
Yeah, I know, like it's hard.
I know. She's very tough.
Like the one night, and I was working on Riley's Rescue, and I was in the zone, and then Riley at like 11 o'clock woke up and came down, and I was like, I tried to get her to bed, and she was crying, Riley, and if you know Riley, and fucking, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Stay up. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't say it like that. I'm like, whatever. I can't, like I'm trying to work on this shit. I'm tired as fuck. I'm staying up till 4, 5 in the morning working on this shit, but I'm working in the cold, fucking busting my ass, like moving, delivering shit, pickups, having a terrible day. And then I come home and I can't even, and I don't even care. Like, hypothetically, I could sit there and just cry about my day for 2 hours, like most people do when they get home from work.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't. And maybe I'll slip in a story here and there, but so it's almost, so it's like 3 hard. Like, Riley's Rescue is really fucking hard and demanding and stressful, and Riley and Rowan are the most tiring. Like, I love them, but like Riley is like draining also.
Mm-hmm.
And then UPS is draining. So it's like 3 things are just draining me, and I love them all. Well, not UPS, but it's my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got off on a little tangent. So anyways, with Riley's Rescue, I'm thinking, most people, this is what they do. They fucking have an idea, and I'm not talking about you. This isn't like a subliminal with you. This is just everybody,
Yeah.
And me too. Like, they come up with an idea, and they Guapa's throwing me off. Or maybe that's Drago. Oh wait, they come up with an idea, and
That's
then
Drogo.
oh okay, they come up with an idea. Yeah, it's weird. Sorry, guys. What's he barking at?
He does that sometimes. I don't know if he's
All right, whatever.
dreaming or something.
Yeah, maybe. Damn it, Drew. Oh. All right. Anyways, this is what people do. They get like a good idea and they get all hyped up, and then they tell a bunch of people, right? They tell a bunch of people, they get super excited about it, but they talk about it more than they're actually doing. God, if people only knew. Oh my God. Holy fuck, that's too funny. Like, every time I go to talk, a dog does something. The first time, Drogo was barking. So I went down and got him, put him back up, and then Homer started barking because he's in the cage. And then Homer stopped, and Drogo grabbed the bone, started chewing, and then I got it from him. And then I hit play again, and then the dogs walked on the top that wood, and it was like clank, clank, clank. I was like, oh my god! And then we like paused it, and then we brought it back, and then Homer started barking again. Right when he stopped, and then right when I was about to talk, he started barking, and then he stopped, and then I was gonna go again, and then Bubba got off her bed and started like growling, like holy shit.
Making weird Bubba noises.
Anyways, this is what fucking people do. Yeah, they get the idea, they get all excited, and they tell everybody, but they talk about it more than they actually do it. All right, that's one point, and that's even a high. Even talking about it, it makes you feel like you did something, but you really didn't do anything.
Right.
You know, there's actually something that happens in your brain when you tell people something. It gets the same satisfaction as actually doing it. So that's why they say don't tell people. You know, there's more reasons to not tell people, but you know, it's hard sometimes.
Yeah,
but
you're excited.
And then the second thing I was gonna say is, people don't put money in promotion. Like, it all hit me when actually I was watching Shark Tank, and I was kind of like thinking about promotion a little bit, like ads, buying ads, like putting real money into ads, like, you know, like maybe like $5,000 into ads, like, or $1,000, let's just call it $1,000, right? And I was watching Shark Tank, and she was like, we spent $80,000 on ads on Facebook. I was like, damn. And then I started paying attention. I'm like, yeah, like, all the people that are successful, they fucking buy ads, and then this is what people do. They fucking post it on their timeline, which they have 300 friends if they're lucky, 400, 500. Probably a third of them are even really active on Facebook, or let's say a half of them are even active on Facebook, and then a half of the half, they don't even see your shit. Like, I see people, I see like a core group of people, if I really think about it. I definitely am not seeing everybody on my timeline. Like, what? What?
You're like half of a half. It's a third.
It's like the girl that said panoramic. Instead of pandemic, remember on the radio? She's like, and then if you're not scared of the panoramic, go here. What? Yeah, that was that one. No, that was bad math. Mine was worse. I'm just like an idiot.
I'm like, no, it's not a third.
No.
It's a quarter.
No. Yeah. Fuck. But anyways, yeah, so they'll post it. Yeah, and then half of them probably aren't even active or see your shit because, you know, because it's all about based off algorithms. And
nobody shares things.
Yeah,
either.
nobody. Oh, don't even get me started right now.
No, I won't.
Listen, like, that's the problem, though. Oh, fuck, I don't want to get off my subject. They post it, and then people don't even see. Oh, yeah, then they'll post it one fucking time a day. And fucking expect it to blow up when probably 100 people saw it.
I know.
And then people, like, the psychology behind liking and sharing stuff, like, I noticed on my own that the more likes and shares a post gets, the more likely people are to like and share it. Okay, and some people have questioned me on that idea, and this is what I said. I said, I'll give an example just for me. Let's say a girl on my timeline who I went to high school with, cool with her, friendly with her, not really, but, you know, like, she's on my timeline. If she posted, but I wasn't really friends with her. That's the key point. But I was like, I know her.
Right.
If she posted her baby at her first birthday, if nobody liked it, I wouldn't like it.
Right.
But if it had like 50 likes and I knew her and it was like her kid's birthday, I'd be like, boom, like.
You just throw like up.
Yeah. And then a share, forget about it. If you're not Drake or Beyonce or, you know what I mean? Like Logan Paul or something, or, you know, good prank, like the Nelk Boys, like, they're not going to share your shit. People will only share like really popular people.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, the reason why I always engage on most people's, like, my friends, like, my way of helping them sometimes, and they don't even realize I'm helping them, or I don't even care if they realize. Like, I know that's why I do it. But I always comment or like on their stuff, but I try to comment, even if it's me being a dick. Okay, like, say Casey, like, if he posts something, like, I may post something that's like a troll or a dick, but I know how important my comment is because it bumps it up the feed.
Yeah.
It's important, you know?
Right.
And then that's why I'll even make a whole, I'll turn somebody's post into like a whole thing, and really I was just helping them out. Like I had fun. I'm not saying I didn't have fun, you know, but the whole reason I went into it was just like to kind of help them.
Yeah.
I do it with Jamin too. Like I'll share his shit, I'll like it, I'll comment on it, and even if nobody's commenting on his live video, I'm like sitting there commenting the whole time because I know how important that is.
Yeah.
You know, and most people, they don't understand or care about supporting people until they start a business and they start a little thing. Then all of a sudden they want everybody's support.
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
right.
now you know
Now
how it
you
is.
understand.
Yeah. Now you understand, and but even for me, like even with what the fuck, like I don't want people to share it. I don't want people. I don't care. Like I'm cool with what it is, but. And I don't even want them to share my shit, or that's not even what I'm talking about. I don't even care. But all I'm saying is I get why they don't, you know? Because I know the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I know.
You know, like say I have like a funny video, and Pat shared my video, and because Pat is also a creator, or you know, like he makes his videos and he posts stuff.
Yeah, so he gets it.
So he gets it, and same with like Hit or like me, people who create. Are more likely to because you get it, and I don't know, maybe people don't like okay, so anyways, yeah, so then people will post it on just Facebook, let's say just Facebook. Like it's so funny, I was just talking to Hit about this. I was like, Facebook to say me and Hit and Casey and Luke and stuff is like our home that we grew up in, okay? But Instagram is like a college or it's like a college or somewhere else, like a new job. And then TikTok is, and Snapchat is, and really Facebook is fucking whack. Like that's not where it's at.
No.
It's just not.
Well, no,
that's where bitter people go to argue about Trump in politics.
Well, and also like younger kids really aren't on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like our age
Yeah.
people.
So it's hard because we, like say me and Hit, like the people that keep focusing on Facebook, but really
It's like Instagram.
yeah, but
Yeah.
we're just so used to Facebook that we feel comfortable with it. Like I
Yeah.
love my Facebook group, like I love it. That's what I wanted it for. And people are always like, dude, you can do that like on other things. Like and I'm like, I know, but I love the way Facebook is. But on Instagram, you could have a popular page and everything you post, people are commenting, but it's still not the same actually. Or I don't know. I do like Facebook.
Yeah.
But I remember Logan said one time, he was like, the Facebook people, the Facebook creators get the most money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then what that, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, why? Like, what's he talking about? Because Facebook is whack, but basically, it's the Facebook, like the watch people. Like, let's say, because Facebook will like want a creator, or say there's something popular, they'll put money behind it because they want that shit, because they know they're losing out, or not losing out, but the competition is like Instagram and
Right.
all that shit. So they're getting big fucking money to be like, and it's pretty hard to be like a Facebook show, sponsored show, because you gotta be pretty clean.
Right.
Or you gotta toe the line,
Yeah.
you know. So, but there are some channels or gamers who are just the perfect Black Hawk it.
Oh, I snorted.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh man.
It's that type of night, but yeah. So and then yeah, and then they give up on it. Okay, and they're like, damn, I tried, man. Like, you didn't do shit.
You just did Facebook.
Yeah, and that's why I posted that one post. I said, your idea didn't fail. You failed it.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I was feeling myself.
You were.
And she just looked at me like, no. Calm down.
You were feeling yourself. I had to put you back.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, no.
I just felt that whole thing with your eyes. You just checked me. Like, no.
You do that a lot. I have to.
That was a good quote, though. Come on.
Yeah, it was. Oh, man.
I just snorted everywhere.
Ew, gross.
I'm sick.
You need
I
tissues.
don't got COVID. I just got like a cold. And so anyway, so definitely not. I'm not gonna go over the whole Riley's Rescue thing. But anyways, just to keep it short, I realized that, and I had this idea for Riley's Rescue, and I'm like, no, like I'm actually gonna fucking try the right way. You know? And I've always done shit where I had to make a product. I already told you this, but I always had to, every idea I had since I've been doing, even in like when I was 13 or 14, I used to take posters and I would buy Source magazines, and I would with an X-Acto knife cut out wrappers and logos and use glue and post them together.
Yeah, like
even
make a
before
little
I had Photoshop.
collage.
Yeah, collage. I was always doing shit. Yeah.
You were always collaging.
I was always collaging. You're fucking checking me tonight. But I was feeling myself again right there. Like, I've been doing this
Sorry,
shit.
I just pictured you like young, like collaging.
Yeah. Isn't there another word? Scrapbooking? Here I am thinking I'm cool. I'm scrapbooking.
Yeah, actually, you're
Fucking-
just scrapbooking.
Yeah, some white dude scrapping like fucking rappers and shit. What the fuck is that? Oh, this is
man.
a bad night for me. I'm getting checked all over the place. But yeah, so I just wanted to do it the right way, and I wanted to try, and because I've been doing this, and every idea I've had, I had to make, like G-Men. I did G-Men for like 10 years. That's actually, like, regardless, like, you saw the trail end of it, and it was a disaster, but I was doing it for 10 years,
Right.
and my girlfriend didn't even work. I was supporting me and her, and she had
Off
no
your-
job,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I know we didn't have a house and kids, but it was still, like, 600 for the, or it was, like, 800 for the rent, and it was, and if you're listening right now, I didn't mean that in a, like, a bad way. I was just saying, because she did work, too.
Wait, who would
Lauren.
take offense?
Lauren.
Oh, Lauren.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm
Lauren.
just saying if she's listening, like I didn't mean that as
Oh,
a diss.
no, yeah.
I swear, I just meant because she did work too. There was just like a you
Period
don't
of
work,
time
so
where
obviously
you-
you don't work. So I'm not talking shit.
No, well, I'm a stay-at-home
No,
mom.
I'm just saying though. Like I didn't mean for it to be
No,
like
it
that.
didn't. I don't think she would.
Yeah,
think that.
yeah, because she did work, and it was just like there. So, but technically, no, because it's not even about her. Because sometimes I'll look back and I'll be like, you know what? Like I think that's actually pretty. Not like as a 20-year-old for 10 years, basically, maybe like 8, like doing not having a job and doing that.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the problem with that was I can only get so big because I had to make the product.
Right.
Right, and then with even Be Well candles, which I loved your idea for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I loved it more than you did.
Yeah, because you weren't slaving making the candles.
Yeah, I know. Okay, boom. Back to that's a great. I'm glad you said that. And Be Well candles, I love that idea, but you had to make it per order.
Yeah, it was
and
a
that's
lot.
tough. And then when we had the T-shirt idea, it was like make per order. And then
We've had a lot of ideas.
yeah.
This is kind of
This
embarrassing.
isn't fair. Yeah. EOL,
My rescue.
your rescue, and then with my podcast.
Your podcast, my podcast.
You don't even talk about that. Holy shit, we're dreamers.
Oh man.
But with WTF, the problem, I don't want to promote that because I still am worried about like my job, and I hate cancel culture. Like I hate it with a passion, and it scares me because anytime my stuff it leaves WTF, I've seen it before. Like, or somebody will make a comment, and then it's like, all like negative, and they're like fight, and I'm like, nah, dude, and I'm like, I don't want that shit. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't want to make like a good point about race, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, look at this racist dude. And I'd be like, holy shit, like, what did I do?
Right.
I'd get fired or, like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm about to quit that shit right now.
What?
It got me paranoid.
No, now you're scared.
Yeah, I just talk myself into that, you
Yeah.
know? But that's why I want to keep
You
it
do have to be
relationship.
careful there.
But that's why I want to keep it, that's why the relationship idea. That's why I wanted to get away from politics and race.
Yeah.
That's why I made that post. Like, I'm done. I don't
Yeah.
want it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just like Styles, he wants me to go on his podcast, and I would love to, because Styles is like, that would be, me and him would make a fun episode, you
Yeah.
know? But I know what we're going to talk about, and even if I'm right, and I don't mean right, say I make a really good point, we talk about race, because we always do, we text about it and shit, but like, we're cool, it's fine, like, it's fine, and if we talked about it live, and a bunch of like black dudes watched it, even if I was right and I had a good point, I'm going to look racist no matter what, regardless, and I
Yeah.
get that, and I understand that, and I hate that, but it's the truth, and so it's not
So you'd
worth
be
it.
setting yourself
I'm
up.
setting myself up,
Yeah, yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I was on Clubhouse and I had a great debate with like it was like a room full of like 6, 7, 8, 9 black dudes, and Styles was one of them. And we debated race for like 2 hours, and thank God it was on Clubhouse, and it was cool, and it was cordial, and we didn't fight, and they agreed with me a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it was actually me and Styles who were debating the most, and the other dudes were agreeing with me.
Yeah.
And which is funny because Styles, I don't know if you listen to this, which is funny because I brought up, and maybe this is why you brought it up on your podcast, I brought up the whole rap thing to the whole room, that I think that hip hop right now, it's just bad for the culture. And that's like a controversial take.
Yeah.
And I think I love rap, and I think kids are getting carried away. And my overall point is black people always like wanted a voice, and they wanted to be heard, right? And I think that maybe they're too close, and they're not seeing that hip hop, that's the biggest voice we've ever heard, maybe even more than rock and roll.
Yeah.
They tell us what's cool, they tell us what to wear, they tell us what to say, they tell us the slang, they show us how to dance, they run culture.
Yeah.
They run fashion. They run everything. They run the media, or not like the media, but like football, sports.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and they're having like a moment right now, and I think white people are threatened by it. And I think the whole reason for racism is normally like fear. Okay.
You said you didn't want to talk about racism.
Oh no.
Bae.
Shit, you're right. No, but I'm just saying that was my point, that that they have a huge voice right now, you know?
Yeah.
And I totally understand how it got the way it is, because it's just like what's popular, and that's how you make money. If you're like a conscious rapper, you're not gonna pop.
Right.
So that's why I always hurry up and say, like, I get it. But I'm just saying what has happened is dudes like Chief Keef and them, they're such role models, and since hip hop is so intertwined with reality now, that when you have a rapper like Chief Keef talking about guns and gang banging and stuff, that's what all those kids listen to, you know. And I know for me, growing up, rap was very influential in my life. And if you look at high school, it's almost like what you listen to is what you are. If you listen to rap, you're gonna be bad.
You're right. Yeah.
If you listen to Marilyn Manson, you're gonna be goth. If you know what I'm saying, you know, the country people, like, they listen to Garth Brooks, like, they're that type of way, you know. So rap definitely influences you in a, I hate to say it, like a bad way, you know. But it's like such a great thing for young black men. It's something to aspire to be, and it's something that's, you could do it. It's way more than a basketball player, but it's just, you know, it's so intertwined, like just rap and, you know, the streets and stuff, that it's just, you know, I don't know.
Do I know?
I forgot what I was talking about. I talked too long.
It all came to that.
Oh, damn it.
It
What
was
was I
like,
saying?
and then it was like,
I know. I forgot what I was talking about. that last thing I was making. I made it up. Where am I going?
You're like, oh.
Yeah, I lost it. Yeah, but yeah. So, anyways, that was okay. Let's say I said that in front, like on video, just that whole take. I don't have to go into the whole thing. I think they have a huge voice, and I think kids are very influenced by people like Chief Keef and stuff. And I understand why they do it, and I think they it's hard to get out of, and they just have a huge voice. That was my kind of like what I was saying.
Yeah.
But that could be looked at. What if that was perceived as like me being racist? Because sometimes it's not about what you say; it's about who said it. And if I said that, you know what? I remember one time I listened to Killer Mike. Okay, who's like, you know, Killer Mike.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I want to hear this dude. He says everything I do.
Really?
I was like, holy shit, the same shit. Like the
But
same thing, but
yeah.
since and I get it, it's like I totally understand
Right.
that. You know, that's is that like controversial? Me saying
I don't know.
everything? No,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I missed my whole point. So, anyways, Jamin, he's probably like, he knew where I was going with this because I brought up his name, so he knows. But you guys brought it up on your podcast, not like me, but you were like, do you think rap is a key factor in, like violence in the hood? And everybody on your podcast agreed, and you like, and I think because we talked about it, I'm not even saying like, oh, it was right, but because we argued about it, and I think because you kept bringing up movies in Denzel Washington, and I was like, well, movies like Training Day and stuff, it's not intertwined. Like nobody's really trying to be that character. But the problem is when rappers go on Instagram and talk about their ops or killing them or they want to do something bad to them, that really creates violence.
Right.
That really happens. Like there was a Chicago rapper that posted on his story him pissing on a dead gang member's grave and spray painting it. Like that caused real death.
Issues. Yeah.
Yeah. Like somebody died over that shit.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
So I just think that's the tricky issue, and I would love to talk about that with black people, or just because I just love talking, and I love like debating, and I do listen, like, and I am, but it just wouldn't go well.
Yeah, I think that's setting yourself up.
Yeah, it
in a way.
doesn't. Yeah, because back to my point, it's not about what said, it's about who said it.
Right.
And I understand that. Just like a woman, I could sit there and tell a woman like women should be this or women blah blah blah. Women have this problem, and she's gonna take it harsher than if another woman told her that shit.
Right.
Even if I'm right.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, here we are. I'll get off the heavy stuff. Let's see what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, you have notes?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Ew, Jason.
Did I ruin this podcast? You know who I did ruin it for?
Who?
Everybody that wanted to listen to you. Anybody that wants to listen to you, I ruined it for.
Oh, yeah.
And the people that like Luke has heard me say the same rant like a million times.
Yeah.
Like he's probably like,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
He would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I know his thing on this, But sometimes, I love Luke's train of thoughts, or I love epiphanies. Like, I love it, I don't know why. And that's another thing. Like, I'm super... I don't know if it's the pandemic, but I just changed or something. Like, you have to admit, there's definitely something that changed in me the past couple months.
Like, what do you mean?
I think Riley's Rescue sparked a very... I can do it, a half glass full, I can do it type mentality.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like, I can, yeah. More positive.
I've been working on Riley's Rescue. I can't believe I saw on my phone, August 19th, 2019.
Yeah.
That was the first design.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then,
takes a
so
while.
all of a sudden, I was like, listening to Mike, and I was watching videos, and I was looking at YouTube videos, and I was like, holy fuck, I really think I can do this. And, I just think, oh, yeah, fuck, I'm finding my points. That Riley's Rescue is the first idea I had that I could just make a book and it's just, once I put it to Amazon, now that they ship it and they print it and they sell it, it's on there forever.
Right.
Just, and I want to do more books, but and more, my whole idea, but it's just there forever. So why not do it? Like, and really try and really put ads in it and just really, and that's what I'm talking about with everybody. If you have an idea, like, think about it. Like, don't just post it on Facebook one time and expect something to happen. Like, if you have an idea, just really.
Yeah.
So talk about your podcast, and I'm like, maybe I am subliminally talking about you. I don't know, but.
What? What are you saying?
I don't even remember what I was talking about though.
Hey.
I know I'm bad tonight.
Like, what do you mean talk about my podcast?
No, I'm joking. I was like, tell people, like, you started a podcast and.
The Quiet Struggle. It's about everything mental health related. Just educational, honest stuff. I talk about my struggles with mental health, and then I would like to interview people and hear from people struggling in all different kinds of ways, not just depression and anxiety, but all the millions of mental illnesses that are out there. So hopefully I can get this all set up soon and get some interviews in, and hopefully people will like it and learn and feel like they're not alone, because that's the whole point of it. So
Do you what's your first interview gonna be?
you mean who?
Yeah, like, do you have in your head You know.
Yeah, I think I want to do somebody that I know first, just because it'll ease me into it.
Yeah.
Someone that I already know that is struggling with a mental health diagnosis that I don't have.
You know what would be a good episode one day? I think, and I don't know if she would do it, but like you and Caitlyn.
Why?
I don't know. I just think, like if you ever, like say you did it for a long time, like I always love family members. Like the shit I listen to, it's always fun. Like maybe not right off the jump, but like eventually, say I listen to somebody for a while, it's cool to hear like their take on things with you, or you know.
Yeah.
It's like a different take or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's very knowledgeable about the stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
so people would be interested in what she like.
Yeah, she has her master's in counseling, so.
Yeah, like Caitlyn has good points, and like you know what I mean. Like she would be of use.
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it. You know.
Yeah.
Hey.
See, no, every time I try not to talk, like I'll like talk too much, and then I'm like stop talking. But then when I stop talking,
you're not like engaging me. You're like just
right,
talking.
yeah.
So there's nowhere for me to really go with it.
Yeah.
Like questions.
All right. Well, yeah, it's kind of like a dead end. All right, let me see what else I put. All right, yeah, definitely. If you're listening, The Vanishing at Cecil's Hotel. What? Because I was gonna make fun of that girl that messed it up.
No, it is Cecil.
Oh yeah, so what are you saying?
It was just you kind of like whistled when she said it.
Whistle pig. Oh my god. That's so good. That was so good.
Yeah, it's sad though.
Yeah, that was probably one of the craziest stories I ever heard. I guess we can't talk about it because if you didn't see it.
Yeah, just watch it on Netflix. It's the what is it called? Vanishing of
Cecil's Hotel.
No.
Yeah, huh?
No, it's like The Vanishing of Eliza Lamb.
What?
Or Lisa Lamb.
No, it's not.
Oh,
No.
That's what I just told my sister to watch.
No. What, Courtney?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll find it though.
Yeah,
She'll know what you're
hopefully,
talking about. Yeah. But if you did listen or watch it, I agree with what they came up with, what they think happened.
Yeah, I do too.
Like we
I
do.
think that's that everything's. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
Don't say anything, Jason.
Yeah.
You were about to Ray Fryer.
Yeah. Damn, oh, all right. We can talk about this. Cause, see, dude, if we would have podcasted last month,
Yeah.
that was like the heaviest month ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out a way to talk about it without talking about it. But that was a heavy, for Lackawanna, for Caitlyn, for you, and me. And Lackawanna's listening, thinking too, like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough month.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was some, like, and me and Luke, we would have talks. I mean, we would be just, like, floating, like, all day. We probably sent 30 because all day, me and Lackawanna send videos to each other. Because we'll text a little bit, but I'll sit there and talk for, like, 4 minutes. But I'm, like, walking, like, working.
Yeah.
You know? And I'll be like, man, I was just thinking about it. Like, you know what? Blah, blah, blah. And then he'll eventually get it and send it back. You know? But he was going through, I'm not even going to say it, but just, let's say, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? And then, you know, just normal, like, anybody who's married right now knows. There's moments.
Yeah, there's ups and downs.
Yeah, there's ups and downs. I'm not even saying it's
But it was like it's something that he is struggling with.
Yeah. Or just in general.
Yeah,
Just in general. Just saying family.
It was just an issue, you know.
Yeah, just an issue. But, you know, life has been getting crazy with this pandemic and stuff.
I think it's just really taking a toll on
kids aren't in
people.
school, and say even like, you know, moms are working from home now. Everything's thrown off.
Yeah, it's all different.
So, anyways, we can basically talk about it, because you've talked about stuff, and you know this is why people listen to us. So we might as well just talk about it. I'm not scared. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Caitlyn and Luke.
No, that's not what I was about to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, what happened was I was so focused on Luke, okay? And he's my best friend. He's my brother-in-law, and he's a host with me on a podcast that we love and talk about all the time. So me and Luke are just like very intertwined. So if he has drama going on at home, I have drama going on at home. If we have drama, because we have plenty of it too. Like, it's not just, when me and you have something going on, they have something going on. Because it's like Luke and Caitlin will fight, like, no, Jason's right, or Kirby's right. They're fighting. And if we talk about it, I'm sticking up for Luke, you're sticking up for Caitlin.
Yeah.
It turns into a thing. And then here we are.
We're just all very, very close, and that
Yeah.
can get sticky sometimes.
Yeah. Like if Kirby's mad at me, like she'll be at Caitlin's, and then she's sitting there like with her best friend, sister, sitting there talking shit on me, right? And then if Luke's in trouble, like he'll come out, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't know,
kinda-
it's just the way it is.
Right.
And when I was in whatever, went over there, I don't know, or whatever the fuck, but because in marriages, everybody eventually you fuck up with something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you just do. I don't know. There's moments where everything's
And
good.
not even like cheating. It's like
Oh, there's so much.
there's
shit.
a
Yeah.
bunch of different ways you could fuck up in a marriage. But
Yeah, there's plenty of ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not talking about cheating. No. See, I know you gotta be so careful when you talk.
well, I'm just saying, like, there are other ways. Not that.
Yeah. But so what happened was I didn't realize that Kirby was like struggling too, and she's home alone or home all day with these two kids that are just on level 10 all day long, like Riley and Rowan are on go 24/7, either pulling shit out. You know what I mean? They're crying. They want food. They want more food. They spill the food. They're fucking. She's letting the ferret out. It's running around. She fucking lets a dog out. We're like, no, Riley, close the door. They need, like, Rowan needs a nap. You gotta put Rowan to nap, and then Riley wakes her up, and then Riley won't go. There's tons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's constant.
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize that, like, you were struggling with your mental health. So then I would come home and just talk about Lackawanna,
Yeah.
or just what WTF, or Riley's rescue, or, you know what I mean? And then so anyways, we had the one night. Okay. And I'll even say this too. Okay, I'll tiptoe around this too a little bit. I posted something. Remember this whole thing? I posted something on the What the Fuck group, and like you piled on accidentally on something that I like said something about the something about the Capitol Hill riot. And then I didn't mean, like, people were coming off like, well, it starts right went into like, well, if black people did it, and then it went into like that, and then you didn't realize that everybody was like kind of like doing that whole thing with me, and then you said something agreeing with them, and then I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why are you piling on with them? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, no, like, they're like kind of like insinuating like my quote was like racist, but I didn't even mean that. And then here you are, like, I'm already like, damn, defending myself, and then you post on it making it look like I'm even more wrong. And then people can say what they want, like, oh, it's just Facebook or this, but we all know it's real nowadays. Like, Facebook is an extension of our real lives.
Mm-hmm.
So hypothetically, if I say something racist, like super racist on Facebook, like, that legit changes shit.
Yeah.
Like in real
Well,
life.
people think of you differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have like a job, and so especially anything racist wise, like, you gotta be like careful around that. So but you didn't realize what was really going on.
I didn't read any of the comments.
Yeah.
I just like read what you wrote, and I wrote
Disagreed,
a comment. Yeah, I
yeah.
disagreed. I didn't know that other people were like disagreeing.
Yeah. And then so I was like mad at you about that. And then so we were weird too. So like they were going through their thing, and then we were like at this, and then it was right before the election. Remember
Yeah.
the vibration in the air and the tension?
Yeah.
It was a crazy time.
Well, I thought you got too involved in that. you and Luke, and it was like
I really didn't get
really
involved that
affecting
much.
our home life.
I didn't get involved that much.
Okay.
I think you're no way. I don't think so. I bet you. I don't know. Maybe like certain aspects of it. Maybe just in general. Maybe you're right. Yeah, just that. Maybe not necessarily like politics, but just that.
Yeah, all that
Just that.
bullshit.
Yeah,
drama.
yeah. I can agree with that. And then, and then all right. So we were weird, and then one day you just like looked at me and you like started crying, and you're like, babe, you're like, what about me? And then you started like crying, and I was like, what do you mean? And you're like, am I saying too much or not?
No,
Oh.
but I don't think that's how it went. We were talking. We were finally like we had been ignoring each other for a couple days because we
Yeah.
were both so pissed at each other.
Yeah.
And then finally, you were like, you were sitting at the table because you hate like awkwardness, and you were like, you know what? Just let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you were like,
Which every couple should do.
yeah.
Every couple should do.
Yeah, and so then we talked it through, and then in the midst of talking it through, I was like, I know that you have a lot going on, and you're very involved in Luke, and you love Luke. I love Luke, obviously, so I want you to be there for him. But I felt like at the time, like, you were so focused on Luke and, like, everything that was going on before the election, and, like, your podcast and your this and your that, like all this stuff, and that I wasn't like a priority at all when I was really needing to be. I'm okay with being not the priority most of the time, but
Yeah.
my
You're not
mental
needy at all.
my mental health was like really bad.
Yeah.
And I think like you just didn't realize it, and you had like all this other stuff you were focused on, and it hurt me.
Yeah, because if I'm just like being honest, can I just be honest right now?
Mhm.
Sometimes I don't like. I know how draining raising kids is and being home all day. So when I get home, and I know even just being home all day, like when I'm off work, don't get me wrong, I love it. But by 6, 7 o'clock, I'm starting to feel like like blah-ish or like not good. Sometimes I'll have to take a hot shower. Like, man, I need to like wait. I don't know, something's weird.
Yeah.
There's nothing like working all day and then coming home like home.
Yeah. Right.
Now maybe some people can sit around for a week and like I'm sure some people agree with what I just said, right? Like they agree. Yeah.
There's a lot of people like you.
Yeah, and well, you keep going.
Did you forget what you were saying? Jason!
What were you just saying?
You said, I'm going to say this, that you were focused on other things.
Yeah. And then what did I say?
Well, you were talking about that, and then...
Yeah. Okay, I'm saying keep going. So, you're focused on Luke and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And
You're like, here, I'm going to just say this, and then you didn't say anything.
Damn. What did I say I'm going to say?
You said, I'm going to say this, and then you didn't say
To
anything.
you?
Wait, no.
What was the point? Like, what was I getting at? Is what I'm saying. What
You're
was
like,
I-
let me just say this. I'm just going to say it.
Oh, good call. All right, so I know how hard raising kids is, that when I come home, you're kind of like blah, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like feeling depressed, sometimes it's hard for me to know the difference because I never come home to like, like I'm not saying I want this or I care,
Yeah.
but like I never come home like, hey babe, and like give me a kiss on the cheek and how's work? Like it's not like that. Like I get home and you're kind of just like blah, and then you'll be like, I'm taking a shower, and I'm like, okay, and I get it, then I'm like sitting there wrestling with the kids and shit, and I get it. So if you're depressed, sometimes I'm like, I don't know the difference. Like, I don't know the difference.
Right.
And maybe I'll kind of know. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you want? Like, I'm not saying what do you want. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know, and I don't know. And on top of it, like I'm a friar, so I'm not like a openly super warm, like guy. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like this big teddy bear. Like, come here, like, all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of busy doing my shit, and I do nice things like in different ways. And we've talked about this on a podcast before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that shit, but I'm not, you know.
Yeah, you're nice in different
Like I'm
ways.
kind of weird with like feelings. Like I'm a man about feelings.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? You know, men get like weird.
Yeah,
about,
but it's not your feelings. I don't understand why.
you know, dealing with yours
Yeah.
as a man.
Yeah, you don't.
Like I don't know what to say. Like I'm like I don't know. And
Yeah.
and everything I tell you, we just fight about. You just get mad at me.
Well, because I don't want you to solve my problems, and I
Right.
think that that's what you go to automatically. I
Yeah.
just want you to be there and listen, and be like, "What can I do for you?"
Yeah.
Or be there, like
Yeah.
just in general to listen. But you go into this mode where you're like, "Well, why don't you start working out? Why don't you do this? Why don't you?" And I'm like, I didn't ask for that. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear you solve my problem.
But when we've been married for like 8 years and I hear the same problems over and over and over,
Mm-hmm.
and you've never changed anything. Like you've never changed your diet, you've never changed your routine, you've never, or maybe like little pieces here and there. So I'm sitting here like,
yeah,
well,
but
at
if
some
I'm not
point-
asking you to help, that's not.
I know what you mean though, but at the same time I know what you're saying. I get it. Sometimes you just want somebody just to listen.
Yeah.
I get it. You know?
Or be there.
But I'm your husband, so it's not just like it's not like we're just friends and then I can sit there and like give you an ear. It's like I'm with you all day 24/7. So eventually, of course, I'm gonna sometimes be like, well, like, you know, because I'll do what you're talking about maybe 100 times, and then maybe at one time or two or three I'll be like, well, do this or that.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's hard not to.
Yeah.
Just like if I'm struggling, it'd be hard for you not to be like, well, babe, like,
Why don't you try this?
your teeth, you hate your teeth because you're eating too much sugar. And if I'm sitting there eating sugar, you know, you're like, babe, it's hard not to do that.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just. So, anyways, and then to the next part, well, whatever. It got even deeper, you know, because when we talked about really how sad you were,
Mm-hmm.
and it was, let's just say on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like very sad.
No, I was suicidal.
Yeah, okay. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, it's okay.
So you're like, I was like, babe, are you like, you think about killing yourself? And then you looked at me and you started crying, and you were like, yeah. And I was like, what? And I looked at you, I was like, babe. I was like, as I looked you dead in your eye, I'm like, babe, would you really, or you started crying, I'm like, would you really, like you really thought about it? And you started crying and you were like, yeah. And then I started like bawling, crying too with you.
Mm-hmm.
I just like started sobbing, and I
Yeah.
was like, what? And I was like, you would really take your life? I was like, think about it, babe. We got like super deep and like it was crazy, you know. I'm like, babe, look at me. I'm like, just look at me, like crying. I'm like, if you ever had made me have to go tell Riley that mommy killed herself, I was like, I couldn't do it. I can't even talk about it, I'll cry right now. I couldn't look at Riley in the face and be like, mommy killed herself.
Right.
I couldn't. I would buckle at the knees. Like I would throw up. I would, you know, and then we got into that, and then I was like, babe, like on just like a realistic level, I was like, let's just be real. Like, what the fuck would I do? And I know, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not even trying to be selfish, and I was like, you could say killing yourself is selfish, and I could say me thinking about what would actually happen is selfish too. So we're both being selfish right now. And I was like crying. I was like, what the fuck would I do? I'd have to quit my job. Like think about like what you really want to do. Like think about it. It's really gonna happen. Like the second you die, forget it. Like we love you, Kirby, and we miss you, but I have to deal with life if you really do it. And I'm not saying I'm thinking about that over you. Like of course you get that, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that's what I was trying to say. Like we would fucking die. Like I would die without you. You're like my soul. You're my everything. You do everything, and but I'm saying beyond that, because once that shit doesn't matter if you really kill yourself, you know. But once you die, like what the fuck, like Caitlin's life would be ruined. Luke's life would be ruined. My life would be ruined. Rowan's life would be ruined. Riley's life would be ruined. Everybody, your whole family, like the Larsons and Friars and Collingers, and like how much fun we have and like how much we love each other, it would all be ruined. Our lives would be fucking ruined forever. And that's basically what I was saying, but like bawling, crying, you know?
Right.
And I was like... And then I was like, you just can't do it. And I was like, please, I'm like, if you ever want to do it, just like try to think about what I just said. Like try to pull yourself out of whatever's going on and be like, I don't want to, I'll do it for my family, you know? Like it's not about you. You know what I mean? Just like me, like I work at UPS and I do it because I fucking have to. And it's just what I got to do. You know what I mean? It's just what I got to do. And for you, it's funny, you showed me that post, you showed me or a meme, and it was like, yeah, of course you would die for your kids, but would you live for them? And I actually was saying that, I don't know if I said it to you, but I actually thought of that, like I posted it, I think, actually I did and yeah, it's like, would you live for your kids?
Would you live healthy for your kids?
Yeah, live healthy, yeah. And so you gotta somehow, if no matter how depressed you are, and just like tell me. So anyways, so that happened. It was super deep, and then we had like just like it was a great night though. In the end, we had like we had sex that night. It was banging too. Sorry, but that was like, you know, but we like what I wanted couples to. I know the whole point of like it's like. Every couple sometimes I think just has to be realistic and reasonable, and if you're like, say you're fighting or you have like a beef, like just sit the fuck down like grown fucking adults and be like, what do you want to do? Like say you guys aren't getting along and you're not having sex and you're not looking at each other, and like just look at her and be like, we gotta figure, like what do we, like let's just drop the whole like whatever, like you're mad, I'm mad, everybody's mad, like as just people and reasonable people who, in a way, we're technically just two people existing together and living in a house together, you know? Like, what do you want to do? You know, do you want to leave? Do you want to stay? Do you want to fuck other girls? Like, is that what it is? Like, am I not attractive anymore? Just tell me. Like, I don't care. I can work on it. Like, what? What the fuck? What can we do? Or is this pointless, you know? And then if they're like, I don't know if I want to do this, be like, all right, for the kids, like, then let's just do this amicably.
Amicably.
I said that. And can we do it just as adults, like real fucking adults, and just mature, and let's just be real, and we just try to. We always have done that though. We never
both of us are really good at putting each other in each other's shoes.
Yeah,
so we're very understanding. There's a lot of people out there that aren't.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it like doesn't always work, because some people just cannot put themselves in the other person's shoes or be understanding at all.
I know. At all. They're so stubborn. Yeah. Like, just be on. And I have moments of stubborn. Like, a day. I'll be stubborn for a day or two.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but some people just do it forever.
Yeah.
You know? And they just will never let it go, and they'll always be petty. And you just gotta
try.
But
in marriage, though, you have to think, like, is this worth...
I know.
Ruining my marriage over? I don't know. Like when you're fighting like that.
Yeah, is this worth it?
Is this really worth it? Like, was what I'm holding on to that worth?
I was just reading, because that book was out, like everybody gave you when we got married, wedding advice, like my mom, Kate, like everybody. And I was reading your Paps, and even though it was like damn near chicken scratch, I got most of it. You know your Paps handwriting. Yeah. Jesus, why even type that motherfucker, dude? It's like chicken scratch. You know?
I can read it, but yeah.
Barely. You can't read every. You can kind of grasp it off other words.
I'm gonna look at it after.
But he said some advice, like remember about, is it worth it?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Like, is it worth?
Is it really worth it what you're fighting about?
Right.
You know, but the problem, this is what happens, I think, in marriages. You start to loathe that person so much that they're like disgusting to you. You'll like look at them like and think like, I fucking hate you, yo. Yeah. Like, you fucking disgust me. You want to fuck? I don't even want to look at you. And then let's just be realistic.
But I think that's after like years of not addressing problems.
Yeah, well that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying this builds up to.
Oh yeah, and then and then you get to that point and it's like
like fuck.
hard to
Yeah.
turn back.
But I feel like you can turn back though. You can do it if you both say, you know what, like let's 0-0. Like let's forget it. We're in overtime. Let's do this again. Like what can we do? And then, but the problem is like if you're not attracted to the other person, but I feel like there are ways to get that back though.
Yeah, because like
I
at
do.
one point you were, or
I
hopefully
know,
you were.
but I guess both people change a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
But still, like, I mean,
Well,
you know,
that's why you don't love someone for their looks.
like most, yeah, I know. Like most guys basically would bang anything.
Yeah.
So that same guy needs to come back out technically, no matter what happened to. Don't like you know what I mean? But just like want to bang your wife again.
Yeah.
You know, and the wife, and then it gets hard. The whole sex thing, forget about it.
Well, the sex thing is hard in general in marriage, especially if you have kids.
Forget about it.
And then if you really are hating on your husband, then you're never gonna have sex.
Well, we were just talking about it today, okay? And the thing with me and Kirby is that like we both actually have the same sex drive.
Yeah.
Like you're a lot like me,
Mhm.
you know, but the problem is I'm working all day and then you're with the kids all day whenever like we're probably like in the mood at the same time-ish. Like sometimes you randomly, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, but like you're here, I'm there, and then by the time I get home, it's just like it's late, and then the kids, and then we're dealing with
We're
Riley, and she's
so
screaming.
tired.
Yeah, and don't like. So a couple weeks ago, I was like joking, like the kids were gone. No, Riley was home, and I was in the mood, and I like looked at you, and I'm like, let's. I was like, let's bang, and you like laughed, kind of like what? And I'm like, no, like let's just do it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of got like a little excited. You're like, yeah, like let's just do it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's just go do it. And then when we did it, and it was great, and we were like, we need to just maybe force it more because the perfect time isn't gonna happen. And
Right.
old couples always get made fun of for like, oh, it's Wednesday, sexy time. I get it now.
Yeah.
This is the kids are gone that night, or you know, and that's when it's time.
It's just the right time.
And you have to learn to be able to force it. And because once you're doing it, it's the greatest. I think everybody can agree that sometimes it's hard to get to sex, but sex is by far the greatest goddamn feeling ever.
It is.
It's the best.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on in your life, like if you and her, or her and her, or him and him, if you guys go bang, like you just lay there, like it's the best.
Yeah,
But it's hard to get there.
Yeah.
It's hard to get there.
And yeah.
Yeah, and so try forcing it a little bit. Just being like, fuck it. And maybe the wife at first was like, no, like, don't. Come on, the kid's sleeping.
Yeah.
And then just, like, take her and really, like, grab her and be like, no, we're fine. Let's do it.
Don't be too.
Yeah, I don't mean like
don't
that.
be too crazy.
I mean, just look at her like, no, come on. And then she'll be like, okay. And it's awkward. I know when I listen to Dr. Laura, a lot of couples talk about that. That's what happens. It gets awkward. They
awkward.
haven't had sex in a while. So she says start by holding hands. If it's a guy calling, he'll be like at dinner, like hold her hand and be like, "Thank you." Just one,
Just
and then
like
let
small
go.
intimacies.
That's how you got to get it back.
Yeah.
Well, little by little, you can't just go right to
No.
And then one night the guy can like rent a hotel and the guy have like a night planned, and
Yeah.
she'll get all excited.
Yeah.
Then you do it, and you'll probably lay there, and if you were fighting, you're like, "What are we fighting about?"
Maybe, yeah.
Like I love you. Like so many divorces, probably with the prophet could have been. See, this is what I'm saying. And with the prophet,
But some people do fall out of love.
and I
with
would
each
tell
other.
them it's okay, but I would assess the situation and know if they're past the point of no return. I know. I don't need some class called Usko Tsudo.
No.
No. Damn, I'm bad with medicine names.
Psychology. Maybe that's the word you're looking for.
No, like you're like there's transcendental, there's blah blah blah
Oh,
blah.
cognitive
Cognitive?
behavioral.
No, I can just look at a couple and talk to them and know if she could turn this around and he could. And sometimes she can and he can, she can. It's tough, you know. And I'm not even saying you should always stay together, but I think it would be at best interest for the kids. Let's say they're 12 or 13, to fucking as parents be like, you know what? Can we do this for like 5 more years? Like maybe we could just be friends. And let's just like relax and, you know, let's just raise these kids. But now everybody gets divorced and they're busy and they're working and we wonder why life's falling apart, you know? But maybe you could try that instead of getting a divorce and just, I know maybe it's not possible, but if the prophet could get it there and be like, I'm not saying don't bang other people, and I don't know about those details, you know, because that's where it gets tricky. Maybe you could figure that shit out. But, I think it's devastating for kids, and we're making it normal. But it's just as devastating as it was in goddamn 1954. Just because you see more of it doesn't make it any less devastating for the kid. The only difference is he goes to school and he fits in. Nowadays, if you have a married family, you don't fit in. And so dysfunctional is now the new norm, and that's what scares me about reality shows. Like, we are obsessed with dysfunction to the point where if you come from, and now if you have a good life, you're privileged, white privilege, so you can't even promote it or talk about it, and you get shamed by it. So we just love dysfunction, we love it. We're obsessed with it. We watch Beverly Hills, and we watch fucking 600-pound women. We watch fucking, all that shit, because it's the norm. We watch the Ozzies and the Hogans and Flavor of Love and all that shit, and that's the norm. And it's our fault, We're just getting away. We're making it like it's normal, but it's not. It'll never be normal, And then even like in hip hop, like you have to come from nothing to be good in hip hop, And it's like we always like Eminem, like we love that story, but really that's like a fucked up shit that he went through.
It's really sad.
And I'm not saying it shouldn't be celebrated when they make it, but we need to somehow bring back like the family. Like we need to try, because it's gonna get far. There's gonna be no families anymore.
I do think that like married couples nowadays give up really easily.
Yeah.
Like if it's not marital bliss for years and years, that they're like, no, forget this, like I'm not happy.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're not always gonna be happy. Sometimes you have to bend a little,
Yeah, I know. We might have a live caller asking a question for the Prophet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, we can wrap it up. If I get let me see if my emails. There's a couple callers, but the technology is weird right now. It's like being laggy. So can I pause this for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically, are you ready to be done? I think we're done. Or you want to keep going?
No, we can be done.
Yeah. So let me pause it there and wait.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but if we don't come back,
Yeah.
this was fun.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do it more?
Yeah, I'll do it whenever.
Yeah, and I hope people like it. And we're just gonna be real, and we're gonna. Sometimes we have to tap dance around shit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to divulge people's life
Yeah.
secrets.
And I just want people to like relate, and I don't want to just do a podcast where we talk about what's on like Shade Room on Instagram, or like like family, or
yeah,
talking
like
about
real life stuff.
Yeah, real life stuff. That's what it is, and we're honest, and that's why I was super proud of you when you posted that depression shit. It was just, it was just good. You told everybody, it's like freeing. It's like a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah.
And that's why with me, with fucking the Social Prophet and shit, it's like I don't care. Like I post shit and I don't care. I laugh. It's funny. So like most people would be like, that's so, like, or isn't he embarrassed? Or you'll be like, that's embarrassing. And then I'm like, but it's funny to me. Like
Yeah.
it's just, I like it. It's like fun. It's almost like a high in a way. Like you get used to it to the point where, like, so everybody we know, they're so scared of what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Everybody. They're
Yeah,
so worried about what
yeah,
everybody thinks.
That's for sure.
And I think it's like, so I like doing it because I don't. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like, I want to be liked and people think I'm funny.
Yeah.
But I really don't care if they're like laughing or they think it's stupid, because like I know that we all, like, everybody listens to music and they listen to podcasts, but the second somebody in their life wants to do it, it's like weird, and it's like, why? Like, that's what all we do is watch entertainment all day long.
Right.
We all do. That's all we do. But yet if somebody wants to pursue it, they're so fucking weird.
Right.
But we love that shit, so I'm doing it, and I want to inspire other people, and I don't care if that sounds egotistical or not. And I tell Jamin, or I tell Styles, I tell Luke, like, anything I say or do, like, you can copy it. Like, I want everybody to be, like, successful. And, like, that's what I love how, like, I'm friends with Casey. He's doing a vlog. I'm good friends with Styles. He's doing a podcast. I'm friends with Hit. And, like, Luke, that's what I've always wanted. People creating and shit. That's just
want
how I
others
am.
to create.
Yeah, I want others to create. I don't
Yeah.
want to be the only creator.
Right.
I want everybody to have a podcast. I'll listen to everybody's podcast. I'm nosy as hell.
Yeah, you are nosy.
Like,
That's
if Casey
for sure.
and Stacy did podcast, I'd be like, I'm in.
Yeah, I would
First
definitely.
episode, boom,
I would
let's
listen.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. So I'm not even telling everybody to do a podcast, but I'm just saying where I stand on that shit, and I know that the Social Prophet is just, I don't even know if I ever really talked about it all like that, but The social prophet to me is an extension of my personality.
Hmm.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean? You don't think I'm anything like the social prophet? But they're real thoughts in my head, so how did I come up with them?
Yeah, but they're like very extreme.
Yeah, but how did I come up with them if they're not? If they're, that's why they're an extension of me, because those are what I think in my
Because it's
head.
like a persona.
Yeah, because in my head, that's how I think. That's where the
No,
social
that's
prophet
what
came
social
from.
prophet would think.
No, the reason that guy was always the social prophet, he just never had a name. I was always trolling. I was always doing social prophet shit. I just didn't have a name. So that's why I was named the social prophet for that shit. Because of that, the way I am and the shit that I do. I just turned into a character. And I do feed into that character and do extra, but it still comes from what I thought and what made me laugh in my head.
Huh.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It is me in a way, and it also, just being honest, it gives me a little out to do stuff that I would never do just under like Jason Fryer, or if it was just him.
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of time I'm just fucking around, like like tonight. Okay, here's a good example. Fucking, we were at dinner at Stacked, and we talked to the waitress, and I was like, oh, or she said something about it being slow, and then I'm like, oh man, I'm like, how's it been going? And she's like, well, I just got back to work today, like she was laid off. And then I was like, well, is it like busy or what's going on? And she was like, well, takeout's super busy and we're not. She's like, it was like 2 tables, and she's like, look, this is what it is. And I was like, damn, that sucks. And I always thought about that. You know, restaurants like, we're doing good. Like, yeah, the restaurant is, which I'm happy for, but the server's not. So I feel bad for them, you know? So anyways, it was like, the total was like $27. It was like nothing, you know? So I gave her like a 20 for a tip, which is nothing. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like I said, I got a $100 tip at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. So it was like nothing, and I gave her the tip, and then I looked at you. I'm like, I'm gonna post this, just fucking around. Like, I like to see people get mad, is what I'm saying. Then I posted it, and a couple people got.
We're a troll.
Yeah, because a couple people posted it, or I posted it, and a couple people got like not mad, but like what the like the one dude, which I love, like I love him, and I don't care at all. Ryan was like, oh, you're better than this, brother. Like, you don't need to post your good deeds. And then Eric was like, why? And then it was like that, but that shit made me like laugh, because I was like, it's funny to see people's reactions to it, because I knew going into it
That they would be like.
yeah, it was like a social experiment in a way.
Yeah.
So then I told Ryan, I'm like, he's like, you don't need to post that, brother, you know? And I was like, but why? And I was like, I was like, why? I was like, why do we always have to post, or we have to post or share or like fucked up shit? You know, like, what's so wrong with, say, somebody doing a good deed and posting it with captioning it like, oh, I just did a good, let's say hypothetically, I did this for and because I was like, you do it too, you know, like match me on a good tip. So say he does it, and then she posts it, and then he does it, and then he does it, like, that's good. That's what social media is for. Just like, I'll give you the great example. You know who I got that, because I said I'm leaving her a nice bomb, right? That's what I said to you. And you know who I got that from? Joe Rogan. Okay? Now, I could have, like, barked at Rogan for saying that. Like, oh, you gotta post your good deeds, talk about your good deeds if you really... But by him doing that gave me the idea to do it. And maybe me posting it gave somebody else the idea to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So I just told him, like, maybe we need to rethink this whole thing. I say people always bitch about celebrities and athletes. Like, oh, they don't do shit for nobody. Or they don't go back to the hood. Or they don't do this. But then if they do and they post it, everybody's like, oh, you had to post it. You just had to do it. You couldn't just do it. I see all the comments.
Right.
It's like they can't win. People can't win. So, and then Ryan was like, oh, I'm broke. I can't. And then I was like, boom. I was like, that's where it comes from. Like, a lot, because I was thinking before he said that a lot of it, let's say I post like $100 tip. Okay. And I post it. Now, I think a lot of people might just be, not of me because I didn't post 100, so this is a hypothetical, that people might just be jealous that I tipped $100 because they can't. But instead of being jealous, they should be just happy that I did, and that's cool, but not hateful about it, because I'm helping somebody. And it's like, and I get the other side of it, like, because I did it as a troll, but if you're doing it for real, another example, like Mike Hitt did like a fundraiser for a friend that died, and his parents didn't have money, so he fundraised money for the kid. And I saw comments and people talked about, like, it was looking like he was posting like a good deed, or whatever the fuck. But he was just like spreading. He was like trying to do the right thing. He raised $5,000.
Yeah.
So what if I posted that? It was the guys tipped are good. Everybody in this group, like, go tip your server $20. Like, just hypothetically, like, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, but yet if I posted a video of cop getting shot in the head, like, have people fucking share that shit.
Right.
You're allowed to post that shit, but you can't post a good deed. So, I think, and I get it. Like, I get the other side, and if Ryan's listening, like, I'm not even, like, I'm just using him as an example. Like, it was just everything that happened was exactly what I wanted to happen. And it brought me that epiphany that why do I have to hide good deeds? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should be shown and shared, and not, I'm saying that shouldn't have been shared, but what if that got shared 100,000 times and everybody, it was like a viral thing, like leave an ice bomb.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right? If I hide it,
I think it's like your intentions behind it, you know?
Yeah. I can get down with that. That's so funny. Luke fell asleep. That's so funny.
He did.
That's so funny because I'll just be honest. He was gonna call in as a couple characters.
Yeah.
You know, and he was all excited, and he fell asleep. I think.
For sure.
Yeah, and I don't care. We'll do it next time. We'll fake him out next time.
Yeah. Well, they'll really be.
I'll tell you, man. He probably fucking read a book till one. Does he read books anymore? Because, dude, I know I can fall asleep so easy. I'd fall asleep for somebody's podcast too. If I lay down with Riley,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Let me see. Hold on. If anybody, I posted like we're going live, or we're not going live. I said ask questions. Let's see if anybody did. Probably not. It's all right. No, I only reached 12 people. See, that's a good point. I posted it.
Yeah.
And that only reached 12 people because it shows you now.
Huh.
Yeah. So everybody who's posting and thinking they're doing something, you ain't doing shit.
You're not really.
No, 12. So 12 people saw
That's
my
it,
post.
yeah.
Yeah. And I could get mad like, man, this podcast ain't working. But if I pumped ads into it, hypothetically, it would pop up on people's algorithms and shit.
Right.
That's what you have to do.
Right.
Yeah, I'll wrap that point up. So, all right, we're done. That was fun. So, we're out. I don't even know if we have an outro. Oh, I'm like, I know myself. I love you.
Is that really
You love me.
Well, Kirby, I so thank you for taking the time out of your day to help us.